really need to get back after, and I'm glad we're doing this show today, man. Because sitting in my room just doing nothing, watching the combine, kind of made me think that, man, we should really be on the air right now.
Yeah, we should be talking about something. It's kind of a dull time in sports right now. Basketball's really ruling it, but like you said, the combine and spring training is starting too. So
yeah, dude. Well, that's the thing. It's like we're in such a weird time to talk about sports right now because baseball starts at the end of the month, which is the big thing. I guess we're looking forward to.
yeah,
You know, March Madness is really the big thing.
that's
I would
true.
say
March
this
Madness
month.
is coming up.
And that's kind of the reason you haven't seen much of us this semester is because we're in like a real. First of all, we're busy people. We're still college students at the end of the day.
I got a life, people.
Yeah, we got a life. Ben's got a social life.
Yeah.
I don't have a social life. I just have a life. With God, knew I'd get a laugh out of him.
All right.
Knew I'd get a laugh out of him. But with that being said, with between our schedules as well as really there really hasn't been too much to talk about this semester. Of course, you know, the Super Bowl. We could have talked about that when that happened. But, you know, we're a little late for that.
We talked about it before it happened.
Yeah, we talked before.
We previewed it.
You don't need our reactions. You know, we were pretty spot on.
We're not making excuses. We're here. We're here now. How
We're
about
here
that?
now. We're gonna try to get a little more consistent for the rest of the semester for y'all, because I've gotten about a dozen emails from people who will not be named saying, "When are you ever gonna do a show again?" And I said, "Well, never."
This is the series finale.
So, oh my gosh! Imagine.
Going out on a high note.
Sure, if this is a high note. Well, with our new format, of course, we're trying to keep things a lot more lighthearted, and I don't know what you'd call this.
Informal, maybe?
Informal, sure, but
Not trying to be like a newsman.
yeah, we're not trying
to talk about sports.
Robot and repetitive. We're trying to give you a little bit of a
little personality.
little personality, you know, like Rex Ryan back in the day, Sexy Rexy, when he would tattoo his wife with a Mark Sanchez jersey on him, because, you know.
I was always a Rob Ryan guy with that flow on his head.
Yeah, dude, he
looked like a Greek god. You remember King Neptune from SpongeBob?
Oh yeah.
If he got fat, he'd look like Rob Ryan.
Or, well, no, I'd just say, hey, well, do you know who is even better? I just like thinking we have the Kool-Aid Man as the Super Bowl head coach finally, and Andy Reid.
Hey, shout out Andy Reid.
Shout out Andy Reid real quick.
Andy Reid had like the best quote of all time after he won the AFC. After he won the AFC Championship game, they said, "What are you gonna do?" And he said, "I'm gonna go home and eat a cheeseburger."
Oh yeah, literally. So, I guess we'll actually start to show off with that, even though it's kind of old news. Is just the Super Bowl itself and the idea that my boy Andy Reid finally got himself a ring after like 20 some odd years as a head coach.
What interests me is that 2 years in a row we had the same kind of storyline of a really young coach kind of not choking. I mean, Shanahan choked a little bit. I don't think
Shanahan
I don't think
choked.
McVay did a couple years ago. The Patriots just played a better game. But two young coaches that like couldn't really execute a game plan and couldn't get it done. So
yeah, it's kind of funny to see how that works, because the NFL's trying so hard to go to a younger coaching. You know, you see like Matt Rule and guys like that get hired, Joe Judge, all those kind of guys who are younger guys, those fresh faces. And sure, they're getting success, but in the end of the day, the guys who are still succeeding are the good old veterans, Belichick, Reid.
Yeah.
If Tomlin never gets back to one, which I think he could.
Hey, Mike Tomlin actually had a good year.
He had a good year. He actually had a phenomenal year. He was like a sleeper dog for Coach of the Year. Why? Because obviously the amount of injuries, the amount of things happened to him, the fact that they were still barely outside the playoff picture. By the way, I just want to say, with the new format they want to experiment with, they would have been in the playoffs.
I don't want that new format.
I don't.
The players don't want that new format either.
No, they don't, because they don't want to play extra games, which, admittingly, yeah, I wouldn't want to either. But at the same time,
if you're not good enough to make the playoffs, you're not good enough to make the playoffs. They shouldn't make more spots. Just be better.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree. But, you know.
I get what they're saying, though. Like, they want more money, so more games equals more money. But, like, the players don't want it. It's probably not going to happen. Like, I haven't seen one player that's for it.
Nope.
I saw Aaron Rodgers just, like, completely dump on it.
Aaron Rodgers went wild. He went for, like, a 15-minute rant where he's like, this would be the worst thing to happen to the game. And like
Aaron Rodgers is still salty because he got murked by the 49ers in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, you find that's becoming a tradition for him, between Kaepernick running for like 200 yards on them, and
that's true.
Now the show card is Kyle Shanahan.
That's true.
Dominating, you know, and it's kind of a normal thing.
I still like Aaron Rodgers. He's not a bad guy.
Oh, I love Aaron Rodgers. One of my favorite quarterbacks ever. Yeah, dude. But Big Red finally got one. Big old Kool-Aid man.
I like Andy Reid, man. Like, Andy Reid is invited to any barbecue I ever have.
Honestly, Andy Reid is the kind of guy that I really would want to like sit on the couch like during like a family function and just have a beer with and have a good time. Really.
Exactly. Like, if I was at a family reunion and like all my cousins were annoying, Andy Reid would be the guy that I ran to just be like,
he's
"Dude,
that
this
one
sucks."
cool uncle.
Yeah.
Wow. He'll never hear this, but Andy Reid, you're the cool uncle.
We're gonna tweet this at Andy Reid.
Andy
Come on the
Reid.
show, Andy.
Yeah. Oh my! Imagine. Well, to
That'd
be
be
fair,
a hell of a guest.
to be fair, I had Gary Nova on a little while back, and that was kind of cool.
Let's get Andy Reid.
Get Andy Reid. That's a little bit of a jump. Let's go from somewhat reputable college quarterback from like a decade ago to Super Bowl champion head coach.
Dude, we just gotta we'll go to Five Guys and we'll just put out like a display of burgers and he'll just find us.
We'll make his face out of burgers.
Yeah, we won't even have to invite him. He'll just like sniff us out like a drug dog.
Fun fact: Andy Reid can sniff out cheeseburgers from up to 10 miles away.
You ever seen The Longest Yard, the new one with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Terry Crews' character that just like pulls cheeseburgers out of his ass.
Oh yeah.
We need that guy.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that means we'll have Terry Crews and
That's facts.
Andy
I'd rather have Terry Crews. He's
a
a dope boy. Yeah, I love Terry Crews.
over Andy Reid.
Yeah.
What?
What are we gonna talk about with Andy Reid? Just the Super Bowl and that's it?
No, we could talk to him about like his days with the Eagles. Talk to him about like.
Nah, man.
We could talk to him about like normal stuff that most times
like life advice with Andy Reid.
More than just life advice would be like, man, where's your favorite place to get a burger? Like stuff like that.
Oh man, that's actually an important question.
Yeah, right. I need to know this.
I feel like he'd say something really dumb though. I feel like he'd just say like McDonald's. Or
He's
something.
definitely. I think he's an In-N-Out Burger kind of guy.
Yeah, he might be. Is he a West Coast guy though?
No, not really. He came from the Midwest. He came from Michigan, and then most of his career spent on the East Coast.
I don't know. Or he's got like that one spot that nobody knows about. That just
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
probably like
burger.
a mom and pop joint that probably makes like a 3-pound burger that he probably eats every day.
That's true. That's how you keep that physique up.
Hell yeah, dude. Could we just take a moment? Okay, so obviously we're already off to a phenomenal start.
Yeah, this is great.
Could we just take a moment and appreciate the idea of the fat coach? Like, I feel like the most of the great personalities in sports are the fat dudes, man.
That is true. There's a lot of great fat guys.
Like, you got Andy Reid's personality. Of course, Rex, when he was big before he lost weight,
That's
was
facts.
funny
I can't
as
tell
hell
if
guy.
Belichick's fat or jacked because he wears like his
Both?
clothes are too baggy. Yeah, I think it's both.
He's fit fat, He's that guy that's got like.
He used to be fit, but now he's too old, so he's just kind of like flabby.
Yeah, he's got the flab, but he's still kind. You know
Belichick
what I'm
would kick
trying
my
to
ass though. Like that's a big.
Oh
fact.
yeah, no, Belichick beat the shit out of both of us,
Yeah,
without doubt.
That is true.
Bruce Arians, another good one, like another. But even
Yeah.
if you go into like other sports,
Bartolo Colon
big sexy dude.
is the man. CC before he lost all that weight.
Okay, but even after he lost that weight, he was still big.
Yeah, he still had like fat guy energy.
Yeah, fun fact:
Yeah.
every fat dude in sports gives off like their own radiant energy.
Fat dude energy. Old Shaq had fat dude energy.
Old
too.
Shaq had the big, especially when he came to the Celtics at the very end.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. Dude,
I love those days. He only played like 30 games for the Celtics, and then he got injured. But
yeah, because he was fat.
yeah, and he was like 40 years old.
But which, by the way, I'll give him credit. He lost a lot of weight.
That's true.
Like good for
That
him.
is true.
Charles Barkley, not so much.
Charles gained weight.
Which is impressive because he was already a large dude in his era.
That's true. Charles was like that era Zion, but like he couldn't jump as high. But
True.
he led the league in rebounds like almost every year he played.
Even though I still stick to my comparison to Larry Johnson to
Larry Johnson is a good comparison. Zion's like kind of one of one. It's kind of weird, but Larry Johnson's pretty close. Young Blake is another one that's pretty close, but
that's a fun one.
he's a lot bigger than Young Blake.
Yeah. Well, I guess if we're gonna talk a little bit of basketball, I guess we could actually topically go into that first.
All right. I mean, it's the thing that's running the most right now. So like,
So
it's the only in-season thing right now. Neither one of us watch hockey. Sorry, hockey fans.
yeah, sorry.
I think it's boring.
Like I literally watch paint dry more often than.
You literally watch paint dry more.
Yeah.
Why do you watch paint dry?
Dude, just go out to a construction zone when they're painting a new building, just like
sit there and watch it.
yeah, kind of weird. You stare out awkwardly. Like, you just picture this. I'm in a bush, right? Just peeking over. Binoculars, the guy across the street. What the hell are you doing?
You probably look like a crackhead.
Oh, a little bit. Probably a little more than just a little bit.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, I probably looked real, maybe not good. Not good for the brand, as
Yeah,
Pat
that's
McAfee
true.
would say.
That is true. Shout out Pat McAfee too. He's cool.
Oh,
Let's get him on the show.
I love his beef with Troy Polamalu though. Did you see that?
What is his beef?
So they had like a brief little beef because Troy Polamalu threw some shade at him at a. So I don't know if you know him. He's a YouTube star, RBT. He interviewed Troy Polamalu because he had like a deal with Head and Shoulders and whatnot. And they're talking, and I guess Troy Polamalu threw a little shade at him about a Pro Bowl incident, and McAfee threw some shade right back onto him the next day. And it's become a little bit.
That's a weird situation because like Polamalu is definitely the better player, but like McAfee seems like a cool dude. So I don't know.
McAfee's that dude, but at the same time, I love like funny little beasts like that where they're not actually super serious, but you like they're there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I love those.
All right, let's get into the NBA here.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't really know
really?
much has changed. Like the Bucks are still dope.
Yeah, Bucks are still dominant. I don't know, like, of course Zion, man, he's playing good.
He might get them. He might get them to the 8th seed.
Honestly,
it's between them and the Grizzlies right now, I think. Well, I mean, like other teams are mathematically in it, but like they're playing like crap.
So one question I want to ask you though, because it's at the front of everyone's attention with Zion, of course.
Yeah.
The Pelicans and the Grizzlies. Will the Rookie of the Year be determined on who has that 8th seed?
I don't think it should.
It shouldn't.
I think it'll. I don't even think it's a conversation right now. I think it'll become a serious conversation if Zion can get them to the 8th seed. But he's played like 30 games. And Ja Morant's played the whole season.
34 games. But the thing is, you look at his numbers, though. In 34 games, he's averaging 23, 6, and 7.
Yeah, but like Ja's got good numbers too, and
Ja has great.
Zion has a much smaller sample size.
Like if you look at Ja, he's missed 4 games the whole year, and those were like rest days.
Yeah, and he has his team in the 8th seed right now.
Well, that's what I say. If Zion is able to get the 8th seed somehow for the Pelicans, does he become the?
No, I don't think he does. Because he also has a more talented roster. I feel like if Brandon Ingram and JJ Redick and guys like that were on the Grizzlies, they'd be much better.
And I'm glad you said that because a lot of people forget that Brandon Ingram's becoming like a legit
he's balling. He was all-star this year, yeah.
Yeah, like he was an all-star this year. I think he's on his pace to finally become a superstar. I don't think he'll ever quite be that like top tier guy, but like
I don't think he will either. I don't think he's a one-time all-star.
No,
but I don't think he's like a 12-time all-star MVP candidate type player.
Yeah, he's that weird guy that you sit there and he's like, yeah, he's always like a top 20 player, but he's never that like.
He's never like the guy.
But yeah, I'm glad. Once again, I'm really glad you brought that up because the Grizzlies, like, what do they have?
They got Ja and they got Jaren Jackson Jr.
That's it,
basically, and they got Valanciunas. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's not even that much.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Valanciunas is good, but he's not like.
Yeah, but he's like an older style of like big.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot very much. I don't know.
Big board guy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of weird about it. At the same time, you look at the energy that the Pelicans have had since Zion's entered the lineup. It's a completely different energy there, though.
That is true. There's more fan excitement there. That's
and whenever we look at awards, and me and you always debate this on air, is when we look at awards, we want to see who is making the biggest impact. That's why we always argue MVP and stuff like that. Rookie of the Year, it should be who's got the biggest impact on their team. And right now, obviously, it's kind of a 50-50. Now, obviously, Ja is the more direct impact because he is literally the one who's doing everything for them. But if you look at the tonal shift that the Pelicans had pre and post Zion entering the lineup, you could make an argument, man.
I mean, you can make an argument. My counter argument is just that not the Pelicans, the Grizzlies were garbage last year. They got the second pick in the draft, which I mean is obviously now Ja Morant, and now they're the 8th seed. I mean, they're still a sub 500 team, but like they're still the 8th seed. They're still in the playoffs after being probably a bottom 5 team in the league last year.
Yeah, I'm like personally, I agree with you on the idea of Ja Morant being the Rookie of the Year. I really do. But the thing, at the same time, I have to look at it and say, all right, and this is like a few years back, to completely different award, completely different circumstance. But this actually, we don't even need to go that far back. Let's go to the sport that finished up a few months ago in the NFL. NFL, everyone thought Josh Jacobs was going to be Rookie of the Year. Everyone. And it wasn't. It was A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Now, A.J. Brown, it wasn't even A.J. Brown. It was Kyler Murray. Now,
So it was Kyler Murray.
So Kyler Murray, sure, great. He had a a solid year. He
Yeah.
played every game. But at the same time, Josh Jacobs' impact on the Raiders was bigger than Kyler's impact on the Cardinals. So it's the same type of situation.
Yeah, it's like people who debate like most valuable player, especially in the NBA. Like
NBA is horrible.
when they take, sometimes people take the word valuable, or sometimes I don't even think it's a mistake that people do this. It's just another angle to look at it. They take the word valuable, and that's what they focus on. And people are saying like LeBron should be MVP every year because he's the most valuable player to a team. But I know it's about impact. But most of these awards just basically turn into best player, best rookie, best player,
Yeah.
MVP's best player in the league, like stuff like that. So,
Well, and just to go back to the NFL again real quick, just because I obviously we all know I'm an NFL guy, I find that, yes, it's about the guy who had the best season. But when we look at other sports like the NFL, where it's just become the best quarterback award, which is a joke, by the way, we'll have to talk about that a little later today. Actually, I could talk about that next because we're going to go on a rant about stuff that really should be reevaluated, just in sport in general.
all right.
I look at it like this. When we have the most valuable player, and see, I am on the side of the people who do think it should be the most valuable player to the team. And yes, under that logic, LeBron technically would win every year. But at the same time, you have to find that balance. You really do. You have to find that balance between how good they are playing and how much impact are they truly having on the team. When they are not lining up, how different is that team?
Yeah, it's true. That's why I feel like I'm pretty locked into who my MVP pick in the NBA is this year because I feel like he checks both of those boxes. But
I already know who it is.
Do we agree on it? We have to, I think.
I do, simply because he did better than he did last year when he won MVP.
Exactly. Yeah, we're talking about Giannis.
The Greek Freak, man. It's just he's too good.
He's very, very good. Do you see him and James Harden have beef now?
Yeah, which is kind of fun. I feel like Giannis is gonna posterize him at some point.
Yeah, he probably will. Did you see the Celtics-Rockets game last night?
I watched bits and pieces of it, man. It was crazy.
Very, very good game. Jaylen Brown hit that shot at the end.
I did see that.
That was wild. That was a very good game. But Celtics can't beat the Rockets.
No,
They can't.
Really
They've lost 4 straight to them.
all I know is if somehow the Celtics make it to the finals, you better pray to God the Rockets got taken out long before then.
The Rockets will. I don't think the Rockets will make the finals.
Dude,
I don't
I
think they will.
said that last year about the Raptors, and they surprised me.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like something about that Western Conference. That's such a tough gauntlet. Like, I don't
absolutely
think they're
it
gonna
is.
get through it.
Even because when you really look at it top to bottom, the West is insane this year.
From 1 to 7, I don't want to say anybody could win it from 1 to 7, but
Pretty close, really.
it is pretty close.
Because, really, Clippers could win it. Lakers are obviously the favorites. You know, even though the Nuggets really haven't had great postseason success, that's a team you can never truly sleep
yeah,
on.
they're still the 2 seed. They're still a deep
Of course, my pick is still there in the Mavs.
The Mavs.
I believe, man.
What are they now?
Fifth.
Are they 5th?
Yeah, they're fifth.
You know who's probably the best story in the NBA this year?
What do you got?
The Thunder.
Oh, yeah. With
Thunder are
Chris
great.
Paul.
They're like a lock for the playoffs now.
You know what? It's just crazy because we entered the year thinking that they were going to be a lottery team, that they were going to have a top 5 pick.
And they trade Chris Paul as soon as they could. Yeah,
You got to give Chris Paul a lot of credit, man. Got that team to playoffs. Do they sit at the 7th right now or 6th?
Last I checked, they were 5th. I'm gonna get my stat guy on it.
All right, hold up. We got stat guy on
Mr.
here.
Google.
Google. Yeah, Google. He's top tier. I don't remember where the seeding is right now.
Everybody in the Western Conference is from
Stacked.
Yeah, but if you're not the Lakers, you're separated by like 2 games from like the 2 seed to like the 7 seed. The Thunder are currently the 6 seed.
Yeah, man, they're good. Yeah, man.
But they're only.
So, my question is, right, and I don't know how you categorize this. Would you almost say most improved Chris Paul? Question mark?
No. Most improved player? No. Because like his stats aren't that like much better. Most improved team maybe, but like he's like a culture changer. You know what I mean?
True. He's that nice like stepping stone piece to get your culture ready.
Yeah, like he went in there to a young team that everybody thought was gonna be garbage after they traded Westbrook and after they got rid of Paul George. And,
you know what he reminds me of? All right, kind of, but not really. He reminds me of what would have happened if Vince Carter was able to keep his all-star caliber play up while jumping to like the Grizzlies and teams like that.
Yeah. Same impact on culture, definitely. Chris Paul is still like an elite point guard in the league too. So
yeah,
people
and that's
sleep on
something like we don't talk about. Like and I guess that's something where where me and you went wrong entering the year. Is we sat there and said, well, OKC doesn't have Westbrook anymore. They're stuck with Chris Paul. They're gonna have fun with the lottery pick. But then me and you both kind of ignored the idea that wait, Chris Paul is still a top 5 point guard in the league.
Well, I was convinced they were going to trade him.
Yeah,
I did not think he would be on that team past the trade deadline at the latest.
Yeah, he's still rocking there, and he's gonna be rocking there at least for this year. It seems like he's not obviously a franchise cornerstone, but right now he is your transition piece.
He's a good player, man. He's a really good player.
He is the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the.
He's better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's shade on Chris Paul.
That is not shade. Fitzpatrick had the same type of impact for the Jets. He was this transition piece until we got Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but like I think Chris Paul is like an elite player. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Are you kidding me? Okay, hold up.
He's never been an elite quarterback in the league.
He was a Pro Bowler his first year as a Jet. His only Pro Bowl of his career.
Yeah, he's a one-time Pro Bowler.
Yes.
Chris Paul's like a 10-time All-Star.
Yes, but the impact of coming off a team, joining another team that wasn't supposed to do good, shattering expectations, and then holding down the fort till you get your young stud.
I don't know. Well, to be fair, I think the Thunder already have their young stud in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Really?
He's super. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh no, I like him.
Yeah,
but you really think he's that
yeah,
franchise
I think he's
building piece?
Well, I don't think he's like a number one option on a team, but I think he's a future All-Star, for sure.
I can see it, but at the same time, if you're OKC right now, you're holding out with Chris Paul, and you got to get that franchise build around player. And do you think Gilchrist is that guy?
No, but I think he's like a number 2 option on a very good team.
I could respect that.
I think they need a dominant wing on that team. I think it's funny that team would probably be perfect for Paul George, but that's who they traded to get all these guys.
This is ironic.
Yeah, but I mean they had to do it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think they came out better on that trade.
Really? Honestly, yeah. And that's kind of the crazy part is somehow OKC came out on the winning side of that trade at the moment.
I don't know if they came out better, but it's one of those trades where both sides win because the Clippers get Paul George, and in getting Paul George, they also get Kawhi Leonard, so they get 2 of the top 12 players in the league, probably, wherever you put Paul George. Kawhi's a top 4 player in the league, probably.
Yeah.
And then the Thunder, they get Chris Paul, they get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they get like 8 draft picks.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely a win-win.
It's like I compare it to when the Celtics traded Pierce and Garnett, and they just got like a ton of draft picks back.
You gotta remind me about my Nets.
When we fleeced the Nets.
Yeah, you gotta remember. I don't want to remember that. That's okay.
But the Thunder are in an even better position than the Celtics were back then because the Celtics had to start to rebuild, and they were pretty garbage for a couple of years. And the Thunder are already 6 seed in the first year of their rebuild, haven't used any of those draft picks yet. They could also turn around and package those draft picks for somebody good. So
absolutely. Maybe they'll take Kyrie Irving.
You don't even want Kyrie anymore?
Nobody
wants Kyrie.
Yes and no. I want Kyrie, so hear me out.
You don't want Kyrie, trust me.
I want Kyrie, but at the same time, if he's not going to be able to play more than 30 games, and we have KD sitting there with Jared Allen and Karis LeVert and Dinwiddie, then like, what's the point?
Who's the point is the better question. Who's going to be your point guard?
Well, if you retain Spencer Dinwiddie, that's your point.
Yeah.
And you and I both talked about this off air. Dinwiddie can be a legitimate starter in the league.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You even went to as far as say that he could be a borderline all-star.
He could be a borderline all-star candidate, especially in the East.
Yeah.
Is it crazy to think that is this a hot take? I honest to God think Spencer Dinwiddie's a better player than D'Angelo Russell.
Yes and no.
They put up similar numbers, and D'Lo plays no defense.
I would say yes and no. Here's why. I think yes, right now he is better. Okay.
Who's better?
Dinwiddie. However, I think D'Lo still has more growing room.
I mean, I guess, but like his game's so frustrating.
See, I don't know. I think because the problem is you have to understand, D'Lo's 4 or 5 years younger, So he's still got so much more time to grow. He's not in his prime yet. D'Lo's 22, and Dinwiddie's like 26 or 25.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I feel like D'Angelo Russell's probably a good dude, but I hate watching him play basketball. Because he dribbles like 15 times and then throws up a shot, and half the time it doesn't even hit the rim.
Yeah. Well, back when he was with the Nets, those were
He was
good
cooking
times,
with the
man.
Nets, but he went to the Warriors, and then he was garbage on the Warriors, and now he's on the Timberwolves.
I still wish D'Lo was a Net, honestly. Like, I was asked the other day, what was the biggest regret you've had your team have in the last 10 years? And everyone thought, I was going to say when they traded a million picks to the Celtics. Honestly, it's not even that anymore. I would rather, the worst one for me is the fact that you finally found the piece you were going to build around. Because D'Lo had proven himself as a Net, and you know it.
Yeah, I think he's a little overhyped, though, to be honest with you.
A little bit. I'll admit that. He's a little overhyped. However, when he was with the Nets, that was the guy.
It was a good system there, yeah.
Exactly. And that's what gets me, though, is like, because that's another thing. Kenny Atkinson, one of the most underrated coaches.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
NBA.
He's genuinely a good coach, yeah.
So with that being said, it's like, man, imagine if we cause obviously you understand the sacrifice because you got KD from it.
Yeah, and you don't get KD without having Kyrie there.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's like you have to make that sacrifice. That's why I kind of swallow my pride a bit. It's like, yes, we have to deal with Kyrie, but now we have Kevin Durant, too.
And we'll see what we're talking about a year from now when that team's fully healthy, and we'll see how good they are, because on paper, they're stacked. On paper, they are a contender in the East day one.
Yeah, but my concern is, and it's the same concern I have with the Yankees, is health.
Yeah.
Karis LeVert's a walking injury.
That's
Kyrie's
facts.
right now a walking injury.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see how Kevin Durant's going to come off the Achilles. Achilles is such a tough injury, but
That is true.
he does admittingly look pretty good right now.
Yeah, and KD doesn't have like a huge injury history in the past either.
No.
So
And
besides last season,
and his style of play, he's a little less of a traditional drive to the basket kind of guy. So his game won't be hurt as much as a guy like a DeMarcus Cousins, the guys who had to be physical players.
Yeah, I feel bad for Boogie Cousins, man.
Poor Boogie, man, getting cut from the Lakers.
Yeah, he'll find a home. He's still a good player too.
Come to the Nets.
Could come to the Nets.
Actually, no, because that means we have too many good bigs.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
you'd have DeAndre Jordan, you'd have
Come
Allen.
to the Celtics, man.
No,
Why not?
no, that's the worst thing.
Why?
Cause that just makes your team better. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, it does make my team better. That's what
I'd
I'm saying.
rather see him go to a team where they actually could use that help.
Celtics could definitely use that. They're pretty shallow in the big man rotation.
Well, don't you have Cantor?
Yeah, we have Cantor, but he plays like negative defense.
Okay, but he's still a solid center.
That's true. But I mean, we have Tice, we have Cantor, and
Yeah.
Robert Williams just came back. People sleep on Robert Williams. He's a good player.
Well, the other thing is if you were to sign, because that's the other thing I look at with DeMarcus Cousins real quick, because we're just jumping all over the place. DeMarcus Cousins' gimmick is that even though, he's coming off a really rough injury and, he just got cut by the Lakers, and of course they gave him a cheap deal, he's going to demand decent money. He's going to want to actually stick somewhere for a bit.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
I
not
feel like
gonna-
he's got to prove himself somewhere, though.
Well, that's where I get at. He's going to have to go to like a lottery type team. Actually, what would be a fun team to see him on? I ain't going to lie.
What?
And it would be a really tricky situation to run just because they already actually have a pretty good center. Suns. I think that'd be a fun spot to build.
Yeah.
Because think about it. You could.
Suns.
Well, yeah. I think you could get away with it.
That just reminds me like when he was in Sacramento.
A
And
little
he
bit.
hated his life.
Yeah, but at least the Suns have a little more there. Like when he was in Sacramento.
That's true. Is it crazy that at this point in his career, I'd probably take Baines over DeMarcus Cousins?
Woo. Yeah.
Right now. I
Right.
probably would.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right now because he's hurt. But like,
Well, yeah, if he wasn't hurt.
if he wasn't hurt, I don't know. I think he's still a little better than Baines when he's healthy right now.
He's gotta prove himself, man. He's gotta get back in there, because he was genuinely like a top. Well, I won't say like player, but I'll say he was probably like a top 5 center in the league at his best.
Yeah, he elite center. That's why it was such a big deal when they got him.
Yeah, but the game's changed too. The game's changed a lot since Boogie was really good.
Also, could we just take a moment? I got a good kick out of this. Is the fact that the Lakers pretty much assembled like the God team early 2010 center squad.
Yeah, and they're balling.
Yeah, because
Dwight Howard's having the best year
Yeah.
he's had in a long time.
Because you had Dwight, you have JaVale, who people
I
get was
love
a beast back
love
in
JaVale
the
McGee.
early 2010s when he was a young gun.
You ever seen that play where JaVale McGee's on the fast break and he tries to do a free throw line dunk in game and the ball just like flies out of his hand and goes in the stands?
I saw that on Shacked a Fool once too.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's awesome. I love JaVale.
But yeah, man, it was kind of fun. It was kind of sad to see him get cut by the Lakers, but it was fun. It's fun to think that for at least a little while, the Lakers literally had the God Squad 2010 center squad.
That's true. And shout out to the Lakers because they're letting him use their facility to like rehab his injury still, even though he's not on the team.
Yeah, I give them some real respect for that. But yeah, okay, so we just been talking about basketball for a half hour. What do you want to? What do you think really overall right now with the state of the NBA?
NBA is at a great place right now. This basketball season has been one of the more entertaining seasons in a long time.
Absolutely.
Just because, like, we don't know who's going to win it. It's not just like a foregone conclusion that there's going to be the Warriors and the Cavs in the playoffs, or in the finals. I like where it's at right now. I think the Bucks are the best team in basketball, but I think when it comes to the playoffs, I want to see if teams can stop Giannis, just because he still doesn't have like a consistent jump shot. The Lakers versus the Clippers is still probably like the most compelling thing about the NBA right now. But the Lakers are pulling away a little bit. The Clippers are having a rough regular season right now. And yeah, I think there's 3 teams in the East that have a genuine chance of winning the East.
Personally, for me, I always there's a great saying. It's not about how you start; it's about how you finish.
That's true.
And that's why Clippers may look a little more beat up, but come playoff time, it doesn't matter.
They still got a hell of a roster too. Especially they added Marcus Morris. That was a good pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Reggie Jackson.
That's right. They did pick up Reggie Jackson. Man, that is a stacked team.
Yeah, it's a good team.
That's okay. So. Okay, I guess there's one more thing to really talk about before we go off of basketball finally,
Okay.
or at least NBA. Could you argue that this is the single strongest roster LeBron James has ever played around?
The strongest roster?
Overall. Obviously, he had the Wade and Bosch days, but like...
That's what I was going to say. Maybe one of the Heatles teams was better. You might be right. In terms of a starting 5...
Well, no.
Maybe.
It would still be back in the Heat, because, like...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like, the whole time. Because I think the Heatles probably had a better bench than the Lakers do right now.
Man, but their bench got better, though. Because you have Jackson and Morris.
No, the Clippers got Jackson and Morris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Lakers got... the Lakers actually got the other Morris brother, though.
Yeah.
They got Markieff Morris.
They got Markieff.
The Lakers bench right now, I mean, it's okay. They got Avery Bradley, who's a solid player.
Yep.
I still got love for Avery Bradley. Played on the Celtics for like 8 years.
Got Danny Green.
They got Danny Green. He starts sometimes, though. He usually starts.
Yeah.
They got Quinn Cook, but he doesn't play that much. They got the GOAT, Alex Caruso.
The Texas A&M alumni, by the way.
I like Alex Caruso. He's a good player. Dwight. Does Dwight come off the bench?
Dwight him and JaVale have, like, back and forth nights.
Yeah, they kind of switch. Because AD always starts at the 4.
Yep.
And, yeah, that's basically it. I'm trying to think who else they got on their bench, but... Oh, Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Yep.
But, like, he's as streaky comes. So, I don't know. The Clippers certainly have a better bench than they do. But I think probably the Heatles were a better team. But, I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. Now, with that being said, we're...
hold on. One more thing. To add to that, I do think Anthony Davis is the best teammate LeBron's ever had.
I dig it. I dig it.
Slightly over Dwayne Wade. But that's it.
Well, Dwayne Wade's like a top 15 player all time, though.
Yeah, but I mean, AD's a top 5 player in the league right now.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, he's been a top 10 player in the league for the past 8 years.
True.
AD's a first ballot Hall of Famer, too.
Yeah.
Especially if he wins a ring.
That's true. I don't know. Time will tell with that duo.
That's true.
But yeah, now we're finally done with basketball. For all you who somehow stuck through that menagerie of...
Hey, basketball's the best sport in the world.
Well, I beg to differ, considering it doesn't have multiple leagues now.
Okay. The XFL, really?
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to talk about it.
The XFL is really the reason why football is better than basketball.
Because people... Okay, listen. If basketball is truly a better sport than football, people wouldn't want to consume more of it. Or people would want to consume more of it after its season's done.
Yeah, but basketball news is like year round.
Yeah.
As soon as you get done with the season, there's the awards, and then there's the draft.
So is football. You got the combine, which, by the way, is currently going on right now.
Nobody watches the combine.
I beg to differ.
Nobody watches.
And, of course, the draft.
The draft's cool, but I actually prefer the NBA draft over the NFL draft because the NFL draft, it's like 7-8 rounds, isn't it?
7.
Yeah. So like it's like a
but night
like
one
a
is like the
3-day event.
biggest freaking thing, though.
That's true. Do you see they're gonna have like water this year?
Yeah.
And they're gonna like be driven on boats to the stage. That's kind of wild.
Dude, I'm actually digging it. Yeah, I'm excited about this year's draft, man. It's gonna be hype. Yeah, dude. Well, yeah. Which, by the way, great thing you said the XFL because we're gonna talk just a little bit about that. You know,
I completely dumped on the XFL for a while.
I think you owe it an apology, at least for the moment.
I think it's entertaining in the fact that it's kind of like if the NFL just like went completely off the rails. And it's not like the old XFL.
No, it's not. It's literally like they
it's like meme NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that you say like that. It's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
It's like watching the 2 practice squads for NFL teams just go.
Yeah, I just
ballistic.
like the production of the XFL is like what makes it good because like a guy will throw a pick 6 and then somebody will just like stick a mic in his face and be like, "Why'd you do that?"
Drop an F-bomb and
he'll just like throw his teammates underneath the bus. Wasn't it week 1? Somebody in the XFL they were like, "This is the worst roster I've ever played on. I hate this team."
Oh, absolutely.
And everyone was like, "It's the XFL, dude." Like,
oh, it was incredible. Yeah, man. But I will give them this. So for 2 things. One, they're way ahead of schedule. Like if you've checked out their ratings and whatnot, because this is what makes Vince McMahon such a just good businessman. Why he did so good with the WWE and why I think the XFL actually has a legitimate shot to succeed. Weirdly enough, he understands that it's going to be a process. You're not going to be doing great year 1. Yeah. However, he's doing way better than he thought he was going to be doing year 1.
That is true. Also, I want to bring back a counterpoint. You said that people don't ingest basketball out of season, but Big 3 is kind of killing it right now. So
that's true. I will give you credit. Big 3 is actually
the NBA's XFL.
Yeah, another pretty spot on comparison there, really.
And they both have really weird like commissioner owners because like Vince McMahon runs the XFL and Ice Cube is the commissioner of Big 3.
But the gimmick though with the XFL though, it's not truly run by Vince McMahon. He is just the financial supporter.
That's true.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
actually...
and Big 3 is not like truly run by Ice Cube. He's just like the founder. I think he's the founder of it, and then like he got businessmen to help him out.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like what the league looks like. It's competitive football.
Yeah.
It's high action football. It brings back a little bit of that older early 2000s stuff that got banned because everyone thought people were gonna die from concussions. But it.
Well, I mean, people kind of are. People are getting CTE, but
it's true. But it's that nice mix of keeping a safer modern league, but that hard hitting from the older days.
Yeah.
And I love it personally. And sure, the play can be a little up and down at times, but it's a first year league.
I want to see if the XFL can do what the Big 3 has done and get guys back in the league.
See, that's what I'm interested in. Well, because if you look at the AAF, sure, it didn't even make it through its first season, but it put a lot of people back in the league.
Yeah.
No one really prominent, but guys that earned roster spots because of that. And that's what I think, if you're the XFL, and I actually talked about this off air too, our good old friend there, Sports Chowda / pardon my take, good old Sterling Pingree. Shout out Sterling Pingree. I talked to him about the idea of what's the best case scenario for the XFL. And the best case is to be almost a developmental league or a league to show these practice squad guys.
We've talked about that before too. I think we talked about it on the last episode.
Yeah.
Like if the XFL can basically turn into like the D League, that's like
it's a dub. It'll stay around. It won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It really needs to get on friendly terms with the NFL. I think what could be really fun is you could see almost like a 2-way type. You could see a 2-way contract.
Yeah.
You could see a guy.
How would that work though? Because XFL plays out of season.
Yes, but here's the gimmick though. So, the championship, for the XFL is right after the draft, which is in like the worst spot.
Okay.
All right. So the reason you have a 2-way contract is if you understand Vince McMahon's long-term plan, he wants to have one expansion in 5 years. He also wants to move the schedule, extend the schedule a little bit.
Yeah.
So the idea is that they have to report to training camp while the NFL season is still going on. Now, of course, if an NFL team actually wants to sign somebody to their practice squad or be a special teams player, because that's realistically what a lot of that talent's going to be.
Yeah.
You could do a 2-way contract, so it's like when they're in training camp, if an NFL team wants to call them up.
Yeah, you could do that. But then what happens once the XFL season's over?
They'll just the NFL. I think if you're trying to make the XFL succeed, you give them the primary option for the NFL to retain them for the off season.
Yeah.
Or if the XFL, you give them like a 10-day grace period. So 10 days after the championship, you sit there and say, okay, anyone who has a 2-way contract with the NFL team, if the NFL team chooses to bring you into their squad,
it's like a team option, yeah.
Yeah, it's a team option.
Yeah.
I think that would work phenomenally well. And once again, looking at the talent right now in the XFL, really the one position of worry is always the one position you really want to worry about is quarterback. Quarterback play's been up and down, but there's been some generally solid quarterback play. Look at P.J. Walker.
I don't think I've watched one full XFL game so far, though.
Yeah, tisk, man. Tisk. Slap on the wrist for that one,
I
buddy.
don't know, man. Football's like... I gave a super hot take. I don't know if I said this on wax or off, but I said I'd rather watch a baseball game than a football game.
No, you said it on air.
Yeah.
And I still disagree with you on that statement. But, yeah, man, XFL, it's looking promising, man.
I will admit, it is better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be part of my franchise shit show, but it's not so far.
No, it really isn't. Like, unlike the AAF, who was poorly funded, didn't really have a true direction, Vince McMahon did a real good job figuring out, this is what I want to do. I'm going to then go as far away from this as possible. I don't want my name branded on this thing. He didn't want control, and that's kind of weird to think of a businessman not wanting the control of the business.
That's true. Well, I also, because like Vince McMahon is known for WWE, so I think he didn't want it to be like, oh, this is like the fake wrestling football league, you know what I mean?
Yeah, which was the reputation the first XFL got.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, it looks real promising. I think if you look at the average attendance, which is the fun part, is, of course, they're not averaging NFL games or pro, like a lot of bigger sports, but they're averaging almost 35,000 people. That's goddamn impressive.
I saw one XFL player. He like finished the game and then he ran over and like chugged a beer with a fan and then like ran back to the locker room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like this league seems so. Of course, the NFL stands for the No Fun League. The XFL is a little more fun than that. Extreme Fun League.
Extreme Fun League.
Yeah, there you go.
Extra fun.
Extra Fun League. Yeah, man, I'm really enjoying it. Ben, you gotta.
Sorry, I just this is so off topic, but you watched Drake and Josh when you were younger?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember Extra Fuel?
Yeah. Gosh, wow.
It stands for extra fuel.
It stands for extra. Oh my gosh.
That's a hell of a reference right there.
Woo, man, that's a good one.
Then they jump out of the plane.
I didn't know this was in Matacular Entertainment Show. We're going to review Drake and Josh.
Drake and Josh is one of the best kids shows ever.
Oh, easily.
Well, that might be a what word am I thinking of?
Hot take.
No, not a hot take. An exaggeration, maybe. There's better shows, but
there's better shows.
For my childhood, that show was dope. That show and Ned's Declassified was.
Oh my God, with Coconut Head.
Those shows.
Dude,
like,
at
just
one
dominated.
point, I had a bull haircut, and I swear I looked like Coconut Head.
I need that picture ASAP.
Oh no, you don't.
Yeah,
you'll never find that picture.
I'll find it.
You can't dig deep enough to find that one.
I'll go like. You ever seen the show Catfish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just like go through like back road internet sites and find a picture of you with a bowl cut.
That's horrifying. I don't want to think about that. Ben Willie's gonna go hack the internet to find my bowl cut hair styley.
I am actually.
But yeah, man, I was gonna ask, hey, well, what's your thoughts on the XFL? But somebody hasn't watched it yet.
I can't do it. I'm not like that big of an NFL guy anyways. Like I follow the Patriots just because I'm a Patriots fan. But like I don't follow the NFL like I do the ML. I know what's going on. Like I can talk like pretty intelligently about it, but I don't watch as many games as I would the MLB or especially the NBA.
Well, Ben, I'm gonna challenge you on air. I need you to because today there's 2 more games. There's an afternoon game about 4:30.
I'm not gonna watch an XFL game.
You need to watch at least part of an XFL game.
I don't know. I think I'd rather watch Red Sox spring training. That says something.
What? Unreal.
That says something, dog.
Tisk, Ben Willie. Tisk. All right. So with that being said, I guess we'll move on here. Really, I was going to talk more about the XFL, but really, what to say? It's doing better than we thought it was going to, and there's some faces that are making a name for himself, and we'll see, especially after the season, what happens with them, if they can go to the NFL or not.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if somebody could get back in the league that way, but if not, then just stay there. Like, I think what we said earlier about how it being like the meme version of the NFL is perfect for it right now.
And absolutely. And you know what's fun? And this opens up such a great opportunity for guys who either don't get drafted, and this is where the draft is going to be important. Guys who don't get drafted or guys who don't pan out right away have a great secondary option. You just play for the XFL. You get yourself on some footage.
I think the only thing that could make the XFL better is if Money Manziel was one of the quarterbacks.
Oh gosh, and they've actually talked about that. Funny enough, like that'd be such a great thing to see.
If Money Manziel was still just like pounding booze and was an XFL quarterback,
I'd love life.
I might watch then. Honestly.
Well, you know me. I Johnny Manziel is one of my favorite.
Yeah, you got a Manziel jersey.
I do have a Manziel jersey back in Texas A&M, man. Good times.
Let's get Manziel as an XFL quarterback, and let's get Tim Tebow as an XFL quarterback, and they'll play each other.
Would that be the?
It's like the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. They just play football against each other.
Oh, dude, don't get me thinking like this. We got to email Vince McMahon and be like, hey,
Vince,
you're in the prime time.
I got a genius idea for you. Did you see Tim Tebow fall down in the outfield trying to field a fly ball?
Yeah,
and he just like tripped and fell.
That was good. But he did crush a home run.
Yeah, he did crank a home run in his first at-bat. Shout out Tebow.
Dude, okay, so actually, yeah, let's jump into MLB spring training, and then we'll take a little break. Short one, you know. We it's first time back at it, so we're going to have another longer show. But, dude, can we just take a moment in spring training? I want to start with this because we'll start with Tim Tebow. Dude, he's got a legitimate start
chance to make the roster?
Yeah, man.
I got you.
My poo brain right there.
That's all right.
Yeah, man. I think he's got a real good shot.
I'd like to see him on the roster. I think that'd be cool.
Well, you also have to realize with how he played in the minors, he could have been on there 2 years ago if he didn't have that foot injury.
Yeah.
He had a foot injury, and then I think he had a hand injury last year. He had 2 years in a row. He dominated the minors. He was an all-star both years in the minors.
He's a good player.
I
think Tim Tebow is officially a better baseball player than Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even a question.
I loved watching Michael Jordan play baseball.
Considering Tim Tebow looks like, honestly, okay, I want to ask you, do you think by the end of the year the Mets aren't in playoff contention? Do you see them actually bringing up Tebow to finish the year if he's healthy?
Where's he? What level of the minors is he going to start at? AAA?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's playing well. I could see him being like a September call-up.
Like last 2 years, he's been playing incredible. Like last year, I remember these numbers. I actually studied them. Ooh, I did a little prep.
Tebow research.
So he batted .242 with 27 home runs and 58 RBIs, and he played just over half the season.
Yeah, he's got good numbers. I could see him being a September call-up, especially just for like the hype of it to get people to come to games.
And once again, and this is what was the best part. When the Mets first signed Tebow, everyone said it was the easy publicity stunt. But in reality, he's actually a goddamn solid baseball player.
Yeah, and at that level, like, it'd be dumb to not do it.
Yeah.
You're just going to sign him to like a AA contract. Like, even if he's bad, you're going to get people to come to a AA game. Like,
yeah, like right now, if in AAA, like he will make the majors. I really do believe it. I'm gonna go out with that premise. I can see Tebow make. I can see him, especially this year, because you got to think they are such competitive East, man. You got the Phillies, you know, you got the defending World Series champions and the Nationals.
Shout out the Nationals.
Shout out Nationals, man.
They're gonna be good again. Juan Soto is one of the better young players in baseball right now.
I've compared him to A-Rod before the roids.
A-Rod?
He's what A-Rod was with the roids, but without the roids. If that makes sense. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, here's a debate that I don't know. Okay, let me just ask the question. Would you rather have Juan Soto or Rafi Devers? Because Devers is hitting the cover off the ball.
Yeah, he's man, he had incredible last year, but at the same time, man.
I think Juan Soto's he has a better glove than Devers does, though.
Yeah, that's a tough question, though. Huh.
Two solid players.
Two real solid players.
Literally, the hardest hit ball I've ever seen live was a Rafi Devers home run at Fenway. And
See, the thing is, I've actually seen Devers play more because he, of course, plays the Yankees.
Yeah.
And I got to see him play in person because I've been to a couple Red Sox-Yankees games in the flesh.
Yeah.
And he's a fine player, but at the same time, Juan Soto, he seems like he's one of those. You know how we have those waves of talent. We have those like 4 or 5 guys in the league that are like, these are going to be the faces for that point.
Oh yeah, every league's got that. Yeah.
He is that guy. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's good.
Who do you think are the other guys?
I think it's him.
Would you put
Trout. Well, Trout's already, but like
Trout's already been in the league like 10 years.
But he's not that old though. You have to understand, he's only 27.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like young guys. I'm thinking like Soto.
I would think it's Soto. I think it's Gleyber Torres.
Okay.
All right. I think Mookie.
Yeah.
Mookie's like a weird age though. He's
Mookie's a little
him
closer
and
to Trout.
Judge are in like a really gross age.
Mookie and Trout are in like the same. No, not Trout. Mookie and Judge are in like the same wave.
Yeah.
I
think another guy
Soto.
who I'd put in there is Guerrero Jr. I think he's gonna really be something special.
Yeah, I like that. I like Soto, Guerrero Jr., and Acuna.
Oh, and Acuna. Yeah. So I guess we'd have 4.
Yeah,
because those are the 4 guys I look at. I'm like, yeah, that's the long term of the league.
Yeah, that's like the future of baseball right now.
And the future's now at the moment because they're all playing incredibly well young.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. Maybe Shohei?
Show. The problem is he's injured.
That's true.
Like, this is his first time because this is crazy enough. Believe it or not, this is his 3rd year in the league already. Think about that.
Yeah.
And this is the first time in a year and a half he's actually going to be pitching. So we don't know if he's still a good pitcher or not. And we also don't know how many games his body's going to hold up for.
He is one of those rare guys. We haven't seen a guy like him in a long time in baseball that can pitch very well and hit the cover off the ball.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy, he's bringing back that old like Babe Ruth style, where it's like I can go pitch 5-6 innings and then I'm still gonna hit 30 dingers on the year or something insane like that. But at the same time, it's like, man, yeah, I don't know. But baseball's looking real fun right now. I'm not gonna lie. This is the most fun baseball has been for me in a hot second.
Red Sox wildcard team.
No, I'm still disagreeing with you on that.
We've argued about this off air so much.
Oh yeah,
Mont thinks the Red Sox are going to be garbage. I don't think they're going to be that bad.
I don't think they're going to be okay. You're making it seem like I'm having them like a 40-win team. I don't have them that bad. I just don't think they're a playoff team.
You said the other day they're going to win like 70 games.
Yes.
I don't think
that's
I
still
think they win more than
3rd in the division.
No, I think they're like a low 80s, like wild card type team.
If they are under 500, they are not going to the wild card. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, but I don't think they're going to be under 500.
I do.
Okay. That's where we are different.
Because that means you have them at least winning 84 to 85 games, which I don't see.
Well, how many they play 162 games, right?
Yeah, so they're 81
and 81. I think they can win more than 81 games.
I don't see it.
100-win team, Boston Red Sox.
Oh gosh, imagine.
No way.
That'd be dumb.
I think the Yankees could be like a 90-win team this year.
I could see that. Like, I'm not going to be the guys on the Yankees train that are like 108 wins, 109 wins. No.
I could see them finishing 95, 96 wins.
I look at it like this. Just with the injuries we already have.
That's true.
Walking freaking morgue out here. I sit there and I say, no, yeah, we could potentially repeat the record we had last year, but at the same time, I don't see it happening. I don't think we win 100 games. Why? Because the East, and just the American League as a whole, has kind of rounded itself out a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course, and American League's really just the West of baseball. It's so much.
Yeah, like the Western Conference in basketball.
Absolutely.
Especially the AL East, man. The AL East has always been
AL
the
East
best
is
division
gone.
of baseball. Yeah,
absolutely. Even though ironically, Indiana won last year, but
yeah, that is true.
Washington,
but I mean, the East won the NBA Finals last year, so
that they did. But I look at it like this: I sit there, I say, okay, Yankees already got some pieces going, but I look at it. This is okay. You want to know why I have the Red Sox under 500? Definitively, we've already had this discussion.
Pitching.
Yes, it's pitching. It's that simple.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you think about it. You have 2.5-ish starters.
Who's the half?
All right. The half is like Erod, because Erod's up and down.
Erod's good. I thought you were going to say the half is Evaldi.
No, I feel like Evaldi's better than Erod.
No, I take Erod over Evaldi.
I don't know, man. Just Maybe that's because every time I've gone to a game and Evaldi played better, but
I think it might be my personal preference too, just because. Well, I feel like people get hung up on Evaldi because he had that really, really good postseason, but he's pretty inconsistent.
no,
as a starter.
he's really inconsistent. But
And,
you got 2.5 starters. Okay, your back half of your lineup's done, and don't even let me start on your bullpen.
Of our lineup or our pitching rotation?
Your rotation.
I think our offensive lineup is good.
Your offensive line is okay, but even then, it still took a step back.
Yeah, we lost Mookie, but last year I say we like I swing the bat. The Red Sox.
They may want you swinging the bat.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I could probably hit like.
I think you can go like 2. You're not.
No,
quite,
don't give me that. I was gonna say like maybe like 150.
Oh, so you're Chris Davis. You're good. You're fine.
Yeah, but I can't hit dingers like Chris Davis.
No, that's fine. You don't need.
But
it.
I'm not as ugly as Chris Davis either.
Gosh.
Shots at
Chris Davis. I really hope you're not hearing this because just like your batting average, that was brutal.
Well, I mean, Chris Davis has got millions, so.
Also, by the way,
Money.
he leads the entire league in home runs in spring training right now.
Yeah, he'll bounce back. That was so weird. He couldn't get a
2
hit to, like,
years
save
in a
his
row,
life.
man. He had the worst batting average in the history of the league 2 years ago. Last year, he started over 54 and finished with the worst batting average in the league again.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got to give.
He strikes out so much. It's crazy.
Yeah, it seems like he just forgot how to track a ball, and he just swings at literally everything.
I'm gonna withdraw my comments about Chris Davis being ugly.
Yeah, no. Yeah, what if we ever actually had him as a guest? We'll have to.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, right. Probably wouldn't be happy.
I mean, money makes everybody pretty, right? He's got
True.
millions of dollars.
That's true.
He can look like Chunk from the Goonies, and somebody will date him when you got that much money.
Wow. Hey, by the way,
No, not Chunk. Chunk's the little kid. I meant Sloth. Anyways,
dude, Chunk's my boy.
Chunk's dope.
Chunk is me.
Yeah,
I'm Chunk.
yeah.
Spoiler alert. I ruined the film for you. I'm
Ma
Chunk.
Ma actually is Chunk from the Goonies,
Like-
and I actually am Ham Porter from the Sandlot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
No.
people have always said that I look like that kid.
Oh.
And I played catcher in Little League. It was rough.
Oh, I could imagine. You probably had so many pitches go high on you, and you probably had to chase them down.
Yeah, I had to storm the mound in my Little League games.
Got ran over by some kid that was probably like a grade, like 10 pounds heavier, like a foot taller.
Nah, dog. I held my own
Oh,
in the Rockland Little League.
Oh man, watch out!
It was
Back
a
in
rough
Rockland,
crowd.
back in Rockland, there was a lot of fights there, man. There was a lot of.
What were we talking about?
We're talking baseball. We're just talking a little bit of everything with baseball.
Yeah, we're talking about Chris Davis.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Chris Davis being booty, but I was like,
Oh, you were talking about the Red Sox pitching. That's what you're talking about.
yeah, dude. I just don't. Okay, one of the biggest reasons they're not going to be above 500 is pitching. And sure, you could say, "Oh, my offense is going to counter that," but look at the rest of the American League as a whole, and the means of pitching.
Yeah.
Right? Unless your team is going to put up 10 runs a game, which realistically, with how much better the pitching has gotten recently in the AL, I just don't see it.
I just don't think they're going to be as bad as you think they're going to be.
I'm sticking with my number, 70 wins. That's what I'm sticking with.
I'm going to go, give me 85. Give me 85 wins.
Dude, that's where I have the Rays, man. I don't know if you.
I don't think the Rays are going to be as good as they were last year.
Dude, the Rays had 97. They took 12 games off. That's pretty big.
I didn't know they won 97 games last year.
Yeah, they won 97 games, and they were saucing.
I think the Rays and the Sox will be pretty equal this year then. Because I didn't realize they won that many. I thought they were like a high 80s last year.
No, they won 97. They were right on tail of the Yankees right till the end. Like, they're a good team.
They were the wild card team.
They were,
who'd they beat in that wild card game?
Oh gosh,
It was the A's.
good old Oakland, a team that literally finds the postseason every year and immediately loses in the wild card.
Yeah, that's facts. I remember watching that wild card game and like the Rays hit like an absolute bomb in the first inning, and I was like, this might be rough for the A's.
Which, by the way, can we just take a moment? I looked this up. The A's literally have lost 6 wild card games in a row.
Yeah, that's like their reputation. They were talking about it on for some reason like the game was on TBS, which is weird because like the only thing that's on TBS is like Family Guy, but they were talking about it, and that's what they said. They said they have a huge reputation of just getting in the playoffs and then getting stomped in the first game.
Okay, now I'm going to say this, all right? And you're going to be like, no.
Okay.
Raptors of baseball.
Who?
Oakland.
No, because we talked about this off wax. The Raptors won the NBA Finals last year.
Okay, last year. What about every year before that?
They ran into LeBron.
Okay. And the A's have run into the Yankees, the Astros,
Yeah.
Red Sox, even the Indians, because the Indians win 100 games a year every year from the looks of things.
I don't know.
Outside of last
I don't know
year.
who I would compare them to. I don't think it's the Raptors. Maybe
Okay. What would you compare them to then?
a team that just gets stomped in the first round every year. Because the Raptors,
But you have to also think they have an incredible regular season.
yeah.
Fall flat on the face.
Just because the Raptors didn't get stomped in like the first round all the time. They lost to LeBron in like the conference finals or like the second round.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the recent Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The post KD Oklahoma City Thunder.
When Russell Westbrook was carrying the load.
Yeah, because they missed the playoffs one year and then they got beat by the Jazz.
Good old Jazz.
And then Dame Lillard hit that bonkers buzzer beater on him last year. So
Yep.
yeah, maybe like the post Kevin Durant Thunder.
Huh. I could actually, that's a pretty good comparison, really. But that's another reason why I don't see the Sox going to the playoffs. You have to look at the teams together. You get 5, right?
Yep.
So I can easily name 5 teams that are gonna make the wild card over or the playoffs over 'em. Yankees,
The Yankees, yeah.
Astros,
Yep.
Indians, because they, all right.
Easily is kind of a stretch, but
I
because they weren't
think-
that great last year. But
Yes, they weren't great last year because they were missing half their team. All right.
they still might trade Lindor too. So
Yes, they missed half their team, but they still finished only a game out of the playoffs last year.
that's
All right.
okay.
And
They probably will make the playoffs.
3 out of the last 5 years, they've had a 100-win season. So I'm pretty safe.
Yeah, and they still got a good rotation.
Oakland,
too.
which is just give me. That's a gimme. And
Yeah.
then you have a toss-up between the Twins, even though I think they'll regress, but they're still.
I think the Twins are better than the A's.
Yeah, but they'll make it too
Yeah.
because 100-win team last year. People don't realize that they won 100 games.
Yeah.
And the Rays are still in that mix too. So it's like, and you even have to go on top of that, and maybe the Angels can finally get over the hump and get back into playoffs.
Yeah, you've got love for the Angels. We've talked about this before.
Yes, but you got the best.
Albert Pujols still playing, or he retired yet?
Pujols, like supposedly he's gonna play, but I think he'll.
He's
retire.
playing like Dustin Pedroia is playing.
Yeah.
He's on the roster, but he's not going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't they bring in Rendon? They brought in someone big in the post.
Yeah.
Free agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bring in Rendon,
Yeah.
Trout,
Mm-hmm.
Shohei. That is a very nice core.
That's a good outfield right there. Because Shohei can.
Shohei could play.
Doesn't he play right field when he doesn't pitch?
Yes.
Yeah.
He plays right field or he DHs,
Mm-hmm.
and then he'll pitch.
Yeah.
Dude, that could be a
That's a
wild
good
card
outfield.
team. That could finally get them in there.
That's a good outfield.
So you have to deal with all that.
Yeah, I think they're in the same. I think the Sox are in the same bracket as like those lower level wildcard teams. I would not be shocked if the Sox didn't make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be garbage. I really don't.
I don't think 70 wins is garbage. Yeah, for the expectations given to that roster, sure. But once again, you don't have a 4 and a 5, and you have
That's true. We do
a worse rotate or
our
bullpen.
This year's Sox bullpen might be the worst bullpen we've had since I've been born.
Honestly, and that's saying a lot considering the last 2 years.
I'm currently 21 years old. In my lifetime, this might be the worst bullpen.
I'm not even gonna lie, Ben. You generally might be able to pitch in the bullpen for the Red Sox.
Yeah, I probably could. I could probably throw like a 60-mile-an-hour heater. I got a
Yeah.
mean circle change though, so watch out.
Oh Ooh, circle chain, man.
Yeah, I got that circle change though. I don't even know about that.
Yeah,
I'm throwing no curveballs though. I'm not trying to mess up my rotator cuff.
Yeah,
Change ups and fastballs. That's it. Like it's the 1930s.
You're throwing 40-mile-an-hour pitches and you're swinging at them.
Yeah, it's like the EFIS pitch.
Oh my god! Shout out to Ken Stackpole.
To who?
Stackpole.
Brian Stackpole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, why?
Dude, remember he had the one class where he taught us that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He,
dude.
like,
Throwback.
yeah, that was a couple of years ago. That was our
Sophomore
sports
year.
play-by-play teacher.
Yep.
Told us about I already knew about the EFIS pitch though.
I knew about it too, but at the same time, it was fun to.
I knew about it
get
from
lectured on it.
MLB The Show.
Yeah,
because,
dude,
like-
you have their career pitcher and you.
Yeah, because like I can't remember who I was using, but one of the pitches said like EFIS. It was like click R1 for EFIS, and I was like, what is this? And he threw it, and it was like 30 miles an hour. I was like, that's kind of dope.
It's glitchy. But yeah, man. Spring training going good. I think Tim. 2 guys I'm keeping, or 3 guys I'm paying attention to. Tim Tebow, because I really genuinely think if he continues and get to have a pretty good spring, because outside of that one little blooper you talked about,
He has played well, yeah. That was
he's been playing solid.
And that wouldn't have even made the news if it wasn't Tim Tebow. Like, if some random guy just fell down, nobody would have cared, but it was Tebow, so everybody started talking about it.
So there's him. I'm going to keep a big eye on my boy LeMahieu, the machine, because a hot take, because, yeah, that's right, we're still doing those at the end of the show, may involve him.
Okay.
And then the other guy I'm paying attention to Mookie there in L.A. I really want to see how he does there.
That picture that got tweeted the other day, we already talking about it.
Yeah, that one.
Of Mookie in a Dodgers jersey and Brock Holt in a Brewers jersey.
Yeah, let me tell you. You know how it feels to see Didi Gregorius in a Phillies jersey? That one hurts.
Yeah. Mookie was so good. Like, why did the Red Sox trade the best outfielder they've had in the past 50 years?
Because they're the Red Sox. They're doing what the Red Sox used to do back in the day, and why they had a 91-year drought for a long time.
What he was so good. I was watching Bill Simmons' podcast the other day, and he compared Mookie getting traded to if the Warriors traded Steph Curry.
Oh, easily.
And I thought, yeah, that's a pretty good comp.
Honestly, yeah, that's like if he got traded, or if you were going to, I don't know, trade Pat Mahomes off the Chiefs.
Yeah, just like take a guy
who's literally gonna
has won a championship, has won an MVP. Is loved in that city.
And a guy who can potentially change the league changing potential.
Yeah, like easily a top 10 player in the sport.
And trade him for Lewis. You got nothing out of that. What do you even get?
We can't say that yet. People overreact to trades. People react to trades way too soon.
Yes, I agree with that. But at the same time, even if Mookie doesn't play as good as he did in Boston,
I don't think we're going to get an MVP candidate out of it, but Verdugo's not a bad player.
Okay, Verdugo's okay, but at the same time.
And we got Jeter Downs. Jeter Downs is one of the top prospects in baseball right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Until Jeter Downs comes up and you see him, it means nothing.
That's what I'm saying. So, like we can't say, oh, we got nothing if, like, in, 2 or 3 years, Jeter Downs comes up and he's a great player.
Yeah, but even if he's a great player, is it once-in-a-generational talent? That's what you have to think of.
Yeah,
and
no,
that's what we got rid of.
I'm still pissed that we traded Mookie. I don't think we should have.
Oh, no. Everyone up here, you know me. I've been doing my rounds, having a good time.
I know it was about saving money, but, like...
Well, don't pay $300 million contracts for 2 of your pitchers.
Yeah, or we could, like... Right now, we are paying Resne Castillo, $20 million to play on the Paw Sox, and we're paying Dustin Pedroia to go get knee surgery.
Yep.
Like, I love Dustin Pedroia, but, like... I don't want to say this. I think we've talked about this before, too. I feel like Dustin Pedroia needs to swallow his pride and just, like, be a bench coach.
Yep.
Like, we shouldn't have to pay him $20. I don't know what his contract is, but it's got to be over $10 million to literally just get knee surgery every 4 months.
Well, let me look. We're gonna get stats guy on this.
I love Pedroia too. He's one of my favorite players growing up. But like,
which is funny because
he's played literally 6 games in 2 years.
That he has.
They play 162 games a year, and he's played 6 games in 2 years.
Oh yeah, easy. $13.2 million.
Yeah. And he's old.
A year.
And he's an old dude.
That he is. See,
and we have Michael Chavis.
Yep.
Who's a very good up and coming second baseman.
Until you don't have the money to keep him because you have almost $35 million sitting in the minors, and you have 2 pitchers that are 2 of the top 15 highest paid players in the league.
Yeah.
Wait,
we have Chris Sale. Who's the other one?
Dude, don't you realize that Porcello has a massive deal?
Porcello's not on the Sox.
Or not Porcello.
Porcello went to the Mets.
Yeah, he gets... Yeah, all right. Trying to remember who the hell your 3 guys are, man. See, that's the thing. Outside of Sale, I can't even tell
Chris Sale gets big money. J.D. Martinez gets big money.
Yep.
Oh, and Xander Bogaerts got a max contract.
Yeah, so how are you going to keep...
But, I mean, all 3 of them are, like, top 3 players at their position in baseball.
Yes, but at the same time, look at what you're going to be losing or have already lost. That's why I'm nervous as a Yankees fan when we gave Cole that contract, because I understand the amount of big names we got to keep. But at the same time, unlike most other teams in the league, Cashman, or the Cash Man, as I
Cash rules everything around me.
Which, by the way, I just want to say you guys had more money to mess with the last 2 years than the Yankees did. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like it really hasn't been the Red Sox MO to like save money, and now we're trading the best player we've had in 20 years to save money. I don't get it.
Even though you still have the most money in the league right now.
Yeah, and the Red Sox still sell out like every game. So like,
Yeah, it doesn't make. See, that's why I love it though. It's like, okay, you all make fun of the Yankees saying buying their way to championships. You have the most money in the league right now, and you just try to.
Yeah, it's true. The Sox have a huge payroll.
Fun fact: this is the lowest the Yankees have had since, ironically, the 2009 season.
Yeah, the Red Sox new president of president of baseball operations, or is that what they call it? It's basically like the GM in the NBA. He came over from the Rays, and his whole MO was saving money, and
that's not a philosophy for the
save money in other ways. Like, he did a good job last year. The Rays had I think they were bottom 5 in payroll, and they made the playoffs.
That they did,
but I don't know. You can save money in other ways besides trading your best player.
Oh, absolutely. That's why, once again, as a Yankees fan, having Cashman is such a blessing because he doesn't care. He wants to keep who he wants to keep, and he's also smart enough to get proper replacements for the people he does lose.
Yeah.
Because, right now, look at the Yankees. It's okay, great. It stinks that we lose Didi. It stinks that we lose this and that. Okay. Andujar is healthy. We still have Voit. We have Tauchman. We have Ford. We have just so much there.
Yeah. I feel kind of the same way about the Red Sox. The Red Sox definitely, they filled the hole well. I mean, you're not going to fill the hole completely because
you can't.
MVP,
you can't fill a once in a generational type talent like that.
Yeah, but I mean, they filled the hole well. Their outfield is still great. They still have JD. They still have Jackie Bradley Jr., who's
solid,
arguably the best glove in center field in baseball.
Yeah, he's a good defensive guy. Offensively, he's all right.
Yeah, he's very on and off on offense, but I think he's probably got the best arm in baseball. One of the best arms in baseball.
I'd say one of the best. I don't know if he has the best.
And he's got a great glove. Benintendi's still in left. Benintendi is kind of the opposite of JD. Or not JD, JBJ. Yeah, where he's pretty good in the outfield, but he's a very good hitter. And we got Kevin Pillar, who's multiple-time Gold Glove nominee. Surprised he's never won one, but multiple-time nominee. I've seen him rob the Red Sox of a dozen plays, so dozens of plays. So
yeah, I don't know.
They filled it well.
I just don't think they have enough there to do what they need to do.
And Verdugo's a center fielder, so is he? No, wait. Yeah, he's an outfielder.
Yeah. But at the same time, once again, sure, great, but first off, you try to stay in house with your manager hiring.
Mm-hmm.
Second, which is another big thing.
Right now Ron Reineke, yeah, is he's the interim coach. I genuinely think Cora will be back.
Well, not this year at least, and
no, I don't think. I think Reineke will run it this year, and then I do think Cora's going to be back because I don't think the Red Sox cheated to the extent that the Astros did.
I don't know. Well, we have to still see the investigation. I always like to think innocent until proven guilty, and I'm going to actually stick with that even if it's a Boston team. At the same time, there's a lot of evidence pointing that there's a lot of similar things to the Astros, and that's...
Yeah, there have been reports that Cora made the Red Sox players aware of what was happening and then didn't do it with the Sox. There was a lot of players in the league that were suspicious that the Astros were cheating before everything came out.
Yeah.
Who was talking about it? Trevor Bauer was talking about it.
It's a big one.
About how in the camera well beside the dugout, there would just be a guy with Astros credentials on and a cell phone just filming their dugout. And everybody noticed it. They were you can't do that, but he was a credentialed media member, so they couldn't kick him out.
True.
So people were already kind of suspicious of it, and I think it was JD. It might have been JD. Somebody came out and said that Mike Fiers, the guy that was the whistleblower of the whole thing, was telling people during the season that it was going on. So
yeah, I don't know, man.
I think Cora will be back. I don't think the Sox cheated. I think Cora had a hand in the Astros cheating, but I don't think he brought it to the Red Sox to the extent that they did it in Houston.
Well, on that part, I'm going to wait to see what happens with that. I'm not going to accuse the Red Sox of anything until we get more out there. But at the same time, I don't think Cora comes back because of that. Look at what happened throughout the league this year because of that. There's 3 managers without a job. 2 probably are never going to get a job again.
Yeah, one of them never really had a job. The other one was Carlos Beltran. He got hired by the Mets and then fired in a week.
I don't think teams are going to want to associate themselves with that. That's why I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, Reineke's a good coach, too. He was a bench coach last year. He coached I think he was the Diamondbacks coach for years. So he's a solid coach.
we'll see what he can do, man. I just don't see them being a playoff team.
And there's a theme of first-year Red Sox coaches doing very, very good. John Farrell.
That's true.
John Farrell won the World Series in his first year. Alex Cora won the World Series in his first year. I'm not saying the Sox are going to win the World Series this year, but I don't think they're going to be that bad.
We'll see. Time will tell. But with that being said, of course.
And the legendary Bobby Valentine.
Oh, Bobby
Valentine. That year they won like 65 games and was eating fried chicken and playing video games in the dugout.
I think you're going to get more of a Bobby Valentine type of year than a Cora.
The Bobby V year was so weird because, like, it wasn't even that the Sox were that bad. They, like, just
that's what I mean. That's what I could see it happening.
Like, they just didn't care, like, at all. And Bobby V was such a weird, like, it's weird. He was obviously a coach for a long time, and he knows what he's talking about. But then he kind of turned into, like, a TV personality.
Yeah.
And then he was back on the air. So, like, it's weird to me. I'm trying to compare it to, like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think here. Like, somebody that had been in the league for a long time, but now has been out of the league for a long time, and they just kind of pull him back in.
Nah, not too many of those.
That is true.
Well, actually, Ben, let me ask you this: Do you want to take a little break, or do you want to storm through?
Let's just run through it. It's already a pretty long show, so we'll just run through
may as well. Yeah, don't you? You can see how much we prepped through with this. So, let's jump right to let's go to the NFL Combine. I've been wanting to talk about this for most of the show. You can shake your head all you want, Ben.
Nobody watches the Combine.
What? Get out of here. Are you sure about that?
Yes.
I don't.
Nobody watches the Combine, just like nobody watches the Pro Bowl.
No. Well, okay, no one does. No one watches the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl sucks.
Unless you're in the stadium.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl's terrible.
No, people do watch the Combine, though. I'll disagree with you heavily on that. Because the Combine's like the first time of the year for people who don't watch college football to see the guys who could potentially be on their team.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch the Combine, I'll say that.
I watched a lot of it. And, of course, Ben, I was going to talk to you about what were some of the guys that impressed you.
I don't watch the Combine.
Exactly. So that's a tough one to answer. I guess
who impressed you then?
Well, who impressed me? There was a couple of guys, really. There was Tristan Wirfs, who was an offensive lineman, a guy who's projected to be one of the top players in the draft, who somehow increased his stock. He ran an incredible 4.86 which I don't know how that's possible at his size, but that's beyond the point. Another guy who really showed off good, and there's a guy who I've been kind of paying attention to on and off throughout the college football season. Let me scroll up and get the name. Denzel Mims from Baylor. He ran a 4.38 at the Combine. He did just really good overall. Was real impressive. I really liked what he could do. Another guy who I think is the biggest winner of the Combine for me anyways is Isaiah Simmons. He went absolutely...
Ben Simmons?
Isaiah Simmons.
Isaiah Thomas? Okay, keep going.
Oh, gosh, man. Good old Isaiah Simmons. Dude who's probably going to, if it wasn't for Joe Burrow, this dude could have had a chance to number one pick. Like, this guy is making Chase Young a little bit of should be a little nervous.
Yeah.
Because after the Combine Simmons had and the versatility he showed at Clemson, like he ran a 4.39, he had 25 reps on the bench. Freak.
Who was that? I did see a video of some punter that like went off on the bench press.
Yeah. But which, by the way, that punter also ran an incredibly good 40-yard time. Michael Turk. He had 25 bench press reps.
I saw the a video of the spotter. Just like he was shocked that this punter was just going off.
Also ran a 4.79 40.
That's pretty sick.
Athlete, man. Punters are people too. Pat McAfee, shout out.
He could play receiver for the Patriots right now.
Yeah, you may as well.
Might need to.
Might want to.
Mohamed Sanu getting injured.
But of course, another guy who made a big story, and another guy who I think, unfortunately, will not be there when the Jets want him. But Mekhi Becton, the big, massive freak of nature. I know this is the one you have seen.
Oh, yeah. Is this the guy that ran the 5.1?
Yeah.
And he's like 350 pounds? Yeah.
6'8", 364.
And he ran a 5.1 40-yard dash. That's
freaky.
insane.
That's freaky.
Just to put that in perspective for fans, Tom Brady, who everybody knows is pretty slow, but he's a quarterback, he ran like a 5.5.
Yeah.
And this dude is 350 pounds and ran a 5.1.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's that's what we call not normal.
Yeah.
I looked at this because right now we're still not done with the combine yet. You know, the DBs have just started their combine day. We could see a couple more big 40 times and a couple of people raise their stock. But Ben, what taking away from the combine? Is there anything that you could really say about the combine for the experienced fan that they should keep in mind when they look towards the draft after this?
What do you mean? I don't
So
understand
okay,
the
I worded that horribly. I'm sorry. My brain is not working.
It's
good.
okay. I just don't know what you asked me.
So the gimmick is after the combine. What do you think is the big thing fans should look forward to with these players heading into the draft?
What they should look forward to?
Yeah, like after the combine set and done, the dust is cleared. We've seen everyone run.
You just gotta I feel like fans shouldn't get caught up in. The NFL does a good job of drafting for need. A lot of other leagues, they'll just draft like the best player possible. But fans need to think that way too. That like you shouldn't always just get the best player possible. You should get the best fit for your team possible. And when people look at stats, they go, well, this guy did this at the combine and this guy did this at the combine. But at the end of the day, like, that's what you do in the games. So, like.
Yeah, you know a perfect example of that? Daniel Jones.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
We were all
people
laughing.
crapped on Daniel Jones. He actually played very well.
Yeah, he impressed me. I don't know. I need to see him play again this year to really get a good feel for him. But, like, when he got picked by the Giants, and I was laughing.
That's true, yeah. A lot of people were laughing at him. Shout out Danny Dimes. He's playing
Danny
well.
Dimes showing people up. But
he retired Eli.
Daddy did. Retired Eli big time. I know as a Patriots fan, he must be celebrating.
Eli's interception rate retired Eli. Let's be real here.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I personally think it's the big names showed up and did what you need the big names to do.
Mm-hmm.
And guys like Mims and guys along those lines, guys who were like mid-round guys you weren't sure were going to go.
Yeah.
You might see them go earlier than you think on draft day.
The combine is kind of a cool system. It's better than like the combine of like the NBA and stuff like that because you can really adjust your draft stock if you have a good combine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, something that's nice though is this year's combine in particular, they changed things up. They created new drills and whatnot at the combine to create more in-game type situations.
Yeah.
For example, you have to do a toe drag drill as a receiver this year. They do the good old hoop drill. Any of you who ever played on a line in high school football know this one. You have to run around the line, keep your center of mass low, to simulate a pass rush. Mm-hmm. Man. I really like what they're doing with it this year. And I'm excited to see. I just can't wait for the draft, man.
I can't wait for it just because those boats.
Really?
That stage, man. That stage is going to be sick.
Honestly, that's going to be so cool. I can't wait to see how they do that. And, of course, after the draft.
They built a damn moat around the stage.
I'll have to say it, man.
Did they plop the stage in the middle of a body of water, or did they put water around a stage?
I think they put water around the stage.
Okay, so they literally made a moat for the stage. I like it.
Which is kind of dank. Something that's cool is, of course, we'll have to get on air after night one of the draft and get initial reactions. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see who goes where. The guy who's got me interested is Ruggs from Alabama, kid who ran that 4.27.
Yep.
Blazer, man.
Yep.
Maybe the Patriots' next big receiver. I don't know. Y'all need something.
That's true. People sleep on N'Keal Harry. He's still going to be good. He was injured like all last year.
I don't know, man. I like to think he's going to be good.
He's good. He's a good ball player.
Yeah, he's a good
He played like 4 games last year.
Yeah, but even then, what I saw in those 4 games doesn't make me think he was a first-round kind of guy, though.
All
right, just...
We'll see.
Well, time will tell with him. But, of course, you're aging, man. And you might not even... So the question is...
Brady might not even come back. Did you see that video of him and Edelman at the Syracuse game?
Dude, did you see the face Brady gave, man?
Yeah.
Not a big fan.
There's a debate on whether he said this guy or he's not at the end of that video. Because Edelman goes, he's coming back, and then you can't hear Brady, but you see his lips, and he either says this guy, like shitting on Edelman, or he's not, like he's not coming back. So,
yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. Which actually, that's funny because that transitions our final topic before we get into our hot takes. Cause this one's getting a long showing. I don't expect many people to actually still be here at this point.
That's all right.
Shout out to the 4 people that actually generally listen to these shows through and through.
Yeah, I've had some people listen to these shows. So.
Yeah, like I've had a
Shout out to the homies.
Yeah, shout out to the real G's that sit here and listen to what's going to be probably a almost.
You don't have to ingest it all at one time.
That's true. Like I guess what's nice about this show is you could take it in sittings.
That's true. Or you could just put our voice on like 1.5 speed and run through it. You know. What I mean?
Yeah, you could speed run us. Or if you're driving like going home for spring break, which most people are. I'm gonna stick
Plop
up
this
here.
in. Let me. I almost said the word seduce, but that's not the right word.
Ooh, that's.
Let me.
We're doing a little ASMR, I guess.
I don't know. Listen to me while you drive. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what I'm saying. Ben, have you ever? Okay, so this is a weird question, and I probably know the answer. Have you ever actually listened to this show when you were driving one day? Like you just sat there.
No, I don't listen to like myself. I listen to podcasts. I don't listen to myself though.
Oh, that's kind of. But why not?
I've listened to this show before to like listen to the audio levels and like to see if I sound like a dumbass. But like while I'm driving, I don't listen to myself. No.
Nah, I guess that's. I guess that's just a me thing.
I listen to other podcasts.
By the way, Rich has a show, best one.
Is that yours?
Oh yeah, that's my go-to.
My go-to is No Dunks. Shout out No Dunks podcast.
No
That's
Dunks.
a good one.
That is a good one. I'm glad you brought that one up.
It's a good podcast.
I do also like the Stephen A's.
Stephen A. Smith show's a good one. The BS podcast with Bill Simmons is a good one. Ryan Rossillo's got a good podcast.
Another good one that's like not really a podcast, but they put it into a podcast format is Undisputed.
Yeah.
Because sometimes ever since Skip Bayless talked about Tim Tebow being like the greatest thing ever, I can't stop listening to Skip.
And the Go podcast.
Oh yeah,
The Joe Rogan Experience.
good old Joe
JRE, man, that's the dope one right there.
I also like listening to Louder Crowder. Yeah, I like him. He's a fun
Steven Crowder, I don't listen to him. I don't do politics like that, man.
I know,
It's just
see,
like-
okay. I'll listen to him, but like at the same time, it's like sometimes you just want to listen to something different. Like listen to just sports podcasts. It's
Yeah.
nice, but
I'll just listen to music at that point. I
Well,
just like even in general, like I just don't get into politics.
and
I
of
don't-
course I listen to the part of my take. Shout out Sterling Pingree.
Yep.
But yeah, man. So I guess to wrap things up before we go to hot takes, I need to ask you as a New York fan, because I need to finally get some of this out because it's been 20 years since I could talk about this. How nervous are you about the Patriots, my guy? Especially with Brady in particular. Like,
I'm not super nervous because like we still have Belichick, but now is the time where like all the annoying fans in the world that have been saying that Tom Brady is a system quarterback for the past 10 years. If he leaves, we'll figure out if Tom Brady's a system quarterback.
and it's funny they say that because that's what I'm looking forward to if he leaves. But the problem is it's such a biased thing, anyways, because he's going to be 43.
That is
I think
true.
a 43-year-old quarterback.
I don't think he's a system quarterback. System quarterbacks aren't that clutch. They don't have that many fourth quarter comebacks. They're not. System quarterbacks don't get as many ranks as Tom. Brady.
What I think of him as, okay, because everyone knows I'm kind of in between. I think he's partially a system quarterback.
I don't. I think it's just a
Partially.
good relationship with him and his coach. Nobody says that Tim Duncan was a system power forward
No,
because he had Greg Popovich. Like,
but you have to let me explain my argument first. The reason he isn't a system quarterback is exactly what you just said. Fourth quarter comebacks and is playing big games. But at the same time, that just means you're a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback, which is great. But does it make you the GOAT? No, it's partially because he was in a good system and was constantly surrounded by talent and had the best coach of all time.
yeah, but
Or- well-
I don't think that should diminish his legacy.
Yeah, but I don't see him as the GOAT quarterback. I see him as a very good quarterback that was in the right system. That's what I see him as. I see him in the same light that I kind of see, like, I see him, and it means the tiers of quarterbacking. This is going to sound blasphemy to you, but I consider him.
Is he not in your tier one of quarterbacks? He's got to be. He's the most winningest quarterback ever.
Yeah, well, and it means of talent, no. It means of what he's done in his career, yes.
All right, I think you've got to put him in like the top tier of quarterbacks. I don't think he's
And
alone.
it means of how he is, like as a quarterback.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I put him in like the second tier, where
Who's in your first tier?
first tier, and it means like all time.
Well, yeah, you said you had tiers of quarterbacks.
Yeah, so all time, like these are the guys who were just born to be the quarterback, regardless on their success. These are the guys. Some of them had good success, some not so much. But these are the guys that you look at and you're like, this guy could play on all 32 teams and have the same level of success. And no, there's very few on that list. It's Peyton Manning. All right. Okay. I put Johnny Unitas.
Okay.
All right. Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
You put Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady?
On the means of actual quarterback play, yes. When Aaron Rodgers was in his prime, there was no one who had a better arm talent in this league's history.
Yeah, that's blasphemy for me. To put Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady?
It's not. You have to
Really?
strip away the championships. Take championships from both of them. I go off the assumption of just the quarterback play. Don't look at championships. Look at nothing but how they played as a quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers' arm talent. Now we have Pat Mahomes, who's.
I like the group, but I'd put Tom Brady in it. I don't think Tom Brady's at a lower level than all those guys.
Because you keep on putting into your mind the playoff success and the accolades. You can't just look at the quarterback play.
Take the accolades out.
Okay.
You have to factor in playoff success because those are the biggest games.
Yes.
Tom Brady plays his best football in the biggest games.
Yes.
And
but so does John Elway. But do you say John Elway is as good as Tom Brady?
Well, I don't know. You just put Aaron Rodgers in that top tier, and like Aaron Rodgers is kind of the opposite, where like he plays bad in big games.
Yes and no, but you also have to think of it like this. Well, you look at his prime, though. Here's the difference. In the last 3 or 4 years, yes.
I think you got to factor in how long a guy's prime is, too, though.
Exactly.
Aaron Rodgers is younger than Brady, and people are saying he's already out of his prime.
Yeah, but he's not significantly younger. Yes, he's younger, but, like, he's in his late 30s.
Yeah, but, like, you could say that Tom Brady's prime was, like, 10 years.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers' prime was maybe 5, and he made 1 Super Bowl?
Say 8, realistically.
I don't know.
The end of his prime is the year he had his calf injury. That's the time he won his other MVP over J.J. Watt, which shouldn't have happened. We won't get into that rant. But you look at his prime years, his arm talent. Like we talk, his arm talent.
He had a great arm. I will admit that.
His arm talent was the same that and we talked about his arm talent in his prime the same way we talk about Pat Mahomes' arm talent right now. We do.
What for you puts Peyton Manning over Tom Brady?
2 things: IQ and consistency of play over his career. All right. Now Tom Brady was consistent, but hear me out. All right. In the means of mechanics and style, he very rarely was the guy who had to push everything in the offense. He actually, believe it or not, had a surprising supporting cast for most of his career, almost his entire career.
Brady did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Peyton did too when he was on the Colts.
Yes. But at the same time, he was demanded to do more on the Colts as a quarterback.
What do you mean by that?
So Tom Brady was able to actually sit back and rely on his run game, rely on a defense. I don't even need to talk to you about the defense of the early 2000s. There's a reason you have your first 3 Super Bowls right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I don't think that's the only reason, but they were definitely like the catalyst to it.
Exactly. Peyton Manning, okay, sure, he had a few defensive pieces, but his defense, he had only had a top 10 defense once in his entire career, and ironically, it was his rookie year.
Yeah.
All right. His running game.
Wait, on the Colts?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, when he went to the Broncos.
Oh, yeah, no, his
Broncos.
Dumb. I'm talking about Colts, man, because Peyton on the Denver was a bit different. But once again, I'm also taking everyone from their prime. Peyton's prime was a long prime, too. He had just as long of a prime as Brady did.
Yeah.
It was really.
I think Peyton and Brady are on a very similar level.
Yes. Yes and no. They are, just in means of overall. If we took everything into consideration, yes.
Yeah.
But in means of pure quarterback play, not quite. I still have Peyton ahead.
I think they're pretty even.
Because
and I think they're both above Aaron Rodgers.
we can debate this. We could be here all day if we try.
Yeah, I know. We're both kind of bullheaded about this.
But to understand Peyton Manning in his prime, and you could say the same thing about Brady, but Peyton Manning was able to do that so fluently, and that was, no matter how big a lead was, Peyton would just play the position.
Yeah.
You know? Brady had other things to fall back on. And sure, he had 2 great running backs during his career, too. He actually had 3, ironically. He had Marshall Faulk as the rookie year, but Adai and James. But the thing is, you have to understand is when the game was on the line and you needed it, Tom Brady could sit there. He had a great defense. His defense could make a play for him, and he put him in an easier situation. And he actually had a legitimate run game. He also had running backs out of the backfield.
But, I mean, at the same time, if you're down, if you need one drive to go win a game with 2 minutes left, what quarterback are you taking? I'm taking Tom Brady.
I'm taking Peyton.
All right.
Peyton was so automatic. All right.
Yeah, you need one guy to run the 2-minute drill to win the game.
Yep.
Taking Tom Brady.
If we gave him the exact same roster.
Yeah, I'm taking Tom Brady.
I'm taking Peyton Manning.
All right.
We're
See, that's what I was talking about. We're very bullheaded. All right, let's move. You're right. We could talk about this all day.
Oh, literally. Maybe this is a whole episode topic. I don't know. Maybe we'll literally just do an episode next week. It's just this.
I don't know if I want to talk about just Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning for like
or maybe
an
not
hour.
just Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, but Tom Brady and where he belongs at the tier list. Especially because free agency starts pretty soon, actually.
When does free agency
Free
start?
agency starts, officially opens March 11th. Well, actually, that's when restricted free agents start, but proper free agency starts the 19th.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because my hot take is ready.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna jump right into our hot take. Of course, it's the end of the show, so you gotta love it. And we're gonna give us a good little hot take. Ben Willie, I already know what you're gonna go with. Go for it.
What is it?
Yeah, no, just go for it.
Tom Brady.
Yep.
I've said this to you for a while before they even said there was any interest in him. Is gonna sign a close to max deal with the Las Vegas Raiders.
See, okay. I love that hot take, but I hate it at the same time. Why? Because I love it because everyone's saying it's such a shoo-in that he's going to go back to New England, right?
Yeah,
so that's what I like about that hot take. It's like he's not actually going to be in New England. I don't like it because even though the Raiders have been willing to throw everything at him, I just don't know if Tom Brady wants to go to Vegas or if he actually wants to go to L.A.
I don't see him in L.A. I think he'd rather be in Vegas. I think he'd rather be the guy to like start that franchise off.
I don't know. We'll have to see with that one. We'll know once free agency starts.
But I will say I would not be shocked if this is all a ruse and like
he goes back.
like 2 minutes after free agency starts, it's just like Tom Brady signs a 2-year deal with the New England Patriots.
Yeah, he signed like a 2-year, like $80 million deal or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So my hot take, I've been holding on to this one. Of course, I told you earlier in the show it was about one DJ LeMahieu.
Okay.
All right. Now, of course, DJ LeMahieu, very good player, had a real big year last year, surprising year. All right. He actually had a career high in home runs with 27. Incredible. All right. So my hot take, and this is a good one, right? So when the dust settles and the regular season is over, the DJ LeMahieu will lead the Yankees in RBIs, batting average, and home runs. He will lead the Yankees in home runs.
He's going to have more homers than Stanton and Judge?
Yep.
That is a hot take.
That is my hot take.
That is a hot
which
take.
is crazy, and that's why it's a hot take. He's only hit more than 25 home runs once in his career.
So does that also mean that Judge and Stanton are going to have bad years, or does that mean LeMahieu's just going to go off?
He's going to both. I think, well, Stanton's out. He looks like he's going to be out for the year.
Or the whole year?
Well, not quite. They say he's going to miss opening day, but I know how Stanton is. He'll play 20 games, get re-hurt,
Probably.
and then done. Judge will have a good year, but he won't have a great year. He'll have actually more of a contact type season.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna pull back on the power. He's gonna be smart pitch hitting. I think he's gonna have his best batting average. I honestly think Judge is gonna get close to 290 average. Right?
I think he could. He's just got to not strike out as much as he does.
Well, that's what I mean. Because the big criticism on Judge the last 2 years, he strikes out a lot. It's not about
He strikes out so much.
well, even though last year he didn't even finish top 10, but I look at him and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna probably hit. I think this year's home run numbers are gonna be really disappointing to a lot of people. I think he's only gonna hit like 32, 33 home runs.
Okay.
But I think he's gonna hit a lot better contact wise. So with that being said, I think LeMahieu could easily hit 34, 35 home runs because I think that's because I look at this year's Yankees team, instead of having one or two guys that are going to hit a bunch, I think it's going to be a very collective unit, as it typically is.
Yeah.
And I think LeMahieu's somehow going to come out on top.
All right. That's why it's a hot take.
All right. Well, with that being said, this is our first show back in a while, and we're going to actually, what day are you going home, Ben?
Thursday.
Okay, Thursday. Well, maybe we'll sneak a quick one in.
Quick hot take. Nets aren't going to make the playoffs.
Oh, stop that. They're going to make it. Don't worry.
8 seed right now, dog.
All right, also hot takes. Boston's going to get eliminated first round.
By who?
Literally anyone.
The Nets?
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
And Nets wouldn't face them unless they're the 7th seed, which they will be. Anyways, with that being said, we'll try to sneak a quick one out before spring break. And with that being said, I'm Christian Mott.
Benoit.
It's been the Bam Show.